All right, let's dive into Airship AI, a company making waves with its AI tech, specifically in government contracts. We've got a ton of research here, financial reports, market analyses, all thanks to you.
My pleasure.
So is Airship AI a stock worth watching, or is it all just smoke and mirrors?
Well, what makes Airship AI interesting is their focus on edge AI. You see, most AI systems rely on the cloud for processing data, but edge AI does the heavy lifting right where the data is collected.
So instead of sending everything to a massive data center somewhere,
Exactly. It's all happening in real time, right at the source.
I can see how that would be super valuable for things like uh, security footage analysis
Right.
or optimizing logistics. Like, imagine being able to adjust delivery routes on the fly based on real-time traffic conditions.
Exactly. And this niche market, it's projected to explode to $7 billion by 2029.
Wow, $7 billion. That's a huge market.
It is.
So how does Airship AI fit into all of this? What are they doing that's so special?
Well, they've developed a whole suite of tools to handle those real-time data streams. You've got their Outpost AI device,
Right.
a rugged little box that does the edge processing. Then there's their Acropolis platform for managing all that data,
Hmm?
and their command software for visualizing everything in real time.
So they're not just focused on one piece of the puzzle.
No, they're creating a whole ecosystem.
It's like they're building the nervous system for smart cities and high-security operations.
That's a great way to put it.
And they're already working with some pretty big names, right?
Uh,
I saw the Department of Homeland Security and even the Chicago Police mentioned in the research.
You're right. Landing those contracts with Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, and major police departments, that's huge for them.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty solid vote of confidence.
It is. It means guaranteed revenue, at least for the duration of the contract.
Right.
But it also ties their success to government budgets and potential political changes.
So there's potential, but stability might be an issue. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Is Airship AI actually making money? Because some of the reports hinted at financial red flags.
Yeah, that's where things get a little tricky. On one hand, they've seen explosive revenue growth, 148% jump year over year.
Wow, that's impressive.
And they're projecting positive free cash flow this year.
Okay, so they're on an upward trajectory.
In terms of revenue, yes. But their earnings have been all over the place. And their balance sheet actually shows negative shareholder equity.
Negative shareholder equity, what does that even mean?
It means their liabilities are outweighing their assets.
So basically they owe more than they own.
Yeah, you could say that.
And how does that impact someone who might want to invest in this company?
Well, it means there's a higher risk involved. Imagine the company liquidating all its assets. If they can't cover all their debts, shareholders could be left empty-handed.
Yikes, that's not good.
It's definitely something to consider carefully.
Okay, so we've got this potentially explosive market, government contracts, impressive revenue growth, but also some big question marks about their financial stability. What about the people running the show? What can we learn about the management team and how they operate?
Well, the CEO has a strong background in cybersecurity and data analytics. He's a former military intelligence officer.
Okay, so he knows his stuff.
Yeah. But it's the actions of some of the other executives that raise some eyebrows. Both the CFO and CTO have been selling off significant chunks of their company stock recently.
Wait, really? If things are supposedly looking up, why would they be selling?
That's the million-dollar question. There could be perfectly valid personal reasons for their stock sales.
Sure.
But it does make you wonder about their confidence in the company's long-term prospects.
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. So we've got a bit of a mixed bag here. A company with potential, but also some red flags. This is getting interesting.
It is.
Well, we've only just scratched the surface. There's a lot more to unpack here.
Yeah, we've got a lot more ground to cover. So we've got the company's financials and the management side of things. Now let's look at how the market sees Airship AI. What are analysts saying? What's the overall buzz?
Yeah, because even with potential, if the market isn't buying it, that's a problem, right?
Absolutely. Market sentiment can be a powerful force. And with Airship AI, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Oh, how so?
Well, most analyst ratings are positive, majority giving it a buy. Price targets range from $6 to $11, averaging around $8.50.
So there's room for growth.
That's what the analysts seem to think.
But you said there was some negative sentiment too.
Right. Remember how volatile their earnings have been?
Yeah, up and down, up and down.
Exactly. That means the stock price swings a lot, too,
Makes sense.
over the past year. It's bounced between $1.34 and $14.32.
Whoa, that's a roller coaster.
And that can scare off some investors,
Yeah.
especially those who prefer stability.
I bet.
Plus, there's that legal investigation we mentioned that adds more uncertainty and risk.
So it sounds like a lot of wait and see right now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay, let's move on to ownership structure. Who are the big players holding Airship AI's stock?
Well, one thing that stands out is the high percentage of insider ownership.
Insider ownership.
Yeah, company executives and board members, they hold 57.90% of the stock.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is.
Wouldn't that usually signal confidence in the company's future?
You would think so. But remember those insider stock sales?
Oh, right. Those complicate things.
They do.
So it's not as straightforward as it seems.
Nope.
What about institutional investors? Are big investment firms interested in Airship AI?
Institutional ownership is pretty low, actually, just 5.89%.
Huh. Why is that?
Could be because the company is relatively new to the public market.
Their IPO was recent, right?
Exactly. Or it could be that institutions are waiting for more consistent performance before jumping in.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got cautious optimism from the market, high insider ownership with some questionable stock sales, low institutional interest. Now let's get to the risks. Every investment has risks. What are the potential pitfalls with Airship AI?
This is where a SWOT analysis comes in handy. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Okay, let's start with the strengths. What's working in their favor?
Well, that rapid revenue growth is a major strength. 148% year-over-year increase is impressive.
Definitely.
They also have a strong focus on customer service.
That's always good.
Sets them apart in a competitive market, and their platform is designed with security in mind, crucial when dealing with sensitive government data.
Makes sense.
Plus those government contracts. Those are a big deal.
So they've got a solid foundation.
Yeah, you could say that.
But what about the weaknesses? What are their vulnerabilities?
Well, those volatile earnings are a concern. Makes it hard to predict future performance. And that negative shareholder equity, that's a major red flag. And their reliance on government contracts could backfire. If budgets are cut or political priorities shift,
Yeah, that's always a risk.
then there's the legal investigation and those insider stock sales.
Starting to feel like a bit of a tightrope walk.
It is, a bit.
Okay, so they've got potential, but also some serious challenges. What opportunities can they capitalize on?
Well, expanding beyond federal government agencies is a big one.
So state and local governments.
Exactly. Even commercial sectors like transportation and logistics.
Lots of potential there.
There is. They could also develop new AI models and data analysis workflows.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Right. And strategic acquisitions could help them gain market share or valuable technologies.
So they've got options.
They do.
But what about threats? What could derail their success?
Competition is a big one. The edge AI market is getting crowded.
So they need to stay sharp.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's always the uncertainty of government contracts.
Funding changes, bureaucratic delays,
Oh,
and of course evolving regulations and compliance standards for AI.
those could pose challenges too.
So we've got this whole picture of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Airship AI seems to be at a crossroads. Where do we go from here?
Well, the big question is Airship AI a buy, sell, or hold? To figure that out, we need to see if a clear picture emerges.
Okay.
One way to approach this is to think like Warren Buffett,
Warren Buffett, the legendary investor.
the one and only.
Interesting. He's all about value investing, right?
Exactly. Finding those undervalued gems with long-term potential.
So would Airship AI pass the Buffett test?
Well, that's a question for part 3. Stay tuned.
Okay, so back to the Buffett test. Would Airship AI make the cut?
All right, so we're looking through a Buffett lens here. What would he want to see?
Right.
A proven track record of profitability, a strong competitive edge, and a management team that prioritizes shareholder value.
Those are the hallmarks. So how does Airship AI stack up?
Well, their profitability has been inconsistent, to say the least.
We talked about those volatile earnings.
Yeah, and they're projecting positive free cash flow this year, which is good, but they haven't consistently generated profits over time. And that negative shareholder equity,
Right.
major red flag for a value investor like Buffett.
So not a classic Buffett pick then.
Probably not.
What about their competitive edge? Do they have something that sets them apart in the long run?
They're in a fast-growing field, that's for sure. And their focus on edge AI gives them an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But the technology is evolving rapidly,
It always is with AI.
and competitors are catching up.
So it's a bit of a race.
Yeah,
Is their secret sauce strong enough?
that's the question.
Okay, and what about management's commitment to shareholder value? Those insider stock sales are still on my mind.
Yeah, those are definitely a concern. There could be legitimate reasons,
Yeah.
but it doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Buffett really values management that's aligned with shareholder interests,
He does.
and those stock sales muddy the waters.
They-
So, bottom line, would Warren Buffett invest in Airship AI?
Based on what we've seen, it's unlikely.
Interesting.
They're in a promising industry, they have some strengths,
Mm-hmm.
but their financial instability and management decisions, those don't really align with Buffett's philosophy.
Okay, so for our listeners who are thinking about investing in Airship AI, is it a good gamble?
It's complicated.
I bet.
You've got the allure of rapid revenue growth, the potential of edge AI, and those government contracts.
All very attractive.
But you also have to consider their financial health, the volatility,
Yeah.
and those management decisions.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
So if you're comfortable with risk
Yeah.
and you believe in the long-term potential of edge AI,
Then Airship AI might be worth a look.
but if you're a more conservative investor,
Looking for stability and proven performance, there are probably better options out there.
makes sense. So what do you think? What factors are most important to you when evaluating an investment? Let us know in the comments. And for more deep dives like this one, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Stock Analytics AI. We break down complex topics, help you make informed decisions.
And remember, this deep dive is for informational purposes only. It's not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions.